Give me the police station, quick.
Well, Bill?
He tried to get me. Here's his gun.
32, huh? Take him down station and lock him up. Want to make an assault with a deadly weapon, Bill?
No.
Might be easier to hold him in case some shyster tries to spring him on a rip.
Well, I got him for you. If you can't hold him, that's your fault.
Come on, Blackie.
Come back for me. I want to ask this young lady some questions before I bring her in.
All right, Chief.
Miss Boyne, what is this man Atwater to you?
A very good friend.
Nothing more?
Nothing more.
Relation?
No.
Sweetheart?
Certainly not. I met him about a year ago, just before I went into the club. As a matter of fact, he got me my job.
And Jennings?
I met him about 3 months ago.
In fact, you met him when he first came here to college, didn't you?
Yes. He was in my chemistry class.
Miss Boyne, just what kind of legal work did Smythe and Brock do for you?
I never met Mr. Smythe or Mr. Brock.
Sure?
Quite.
And yet, just before midnight, you phoned Smythe to meet you in his office, didn't you?
Lillian, you don't have to answer a single question if you don't want to.
Now, Miss Boyne, I don't want to put you in jail. I'm doing my best to give you a chance to get out of this. Come now. You must know something about these murders you haven't told.
I know nothing whatever about them.
But that phone call, you know something about that, don't you? Or do you? Which is it? All right. Have it your own way. You leave nothing for me to do but place you under arrest.
Oh, wait a minute, Ed. You're going too far. You can't arrest her without a warrant.
I searched her apartment without a
Well,
warrant.
that was different. If you arrest her now without a warrant and can't make the charges stick, you'll be in hot water.
I don't mind being in hot water.
Murder? You've charged her with murder?
Yes.
Sure. Sure, you cops have to do something to save your face. So you pick on an innocent girl.
Innocent?
Why, she had no more to do with those murders than you did.
I'm not so sure of that.
All right. Go ahead. Drag her off to jail. Hold her without bail and see how much good it'll do you. I'll have her out before night. Get me state 4705.
Well, I'll get your things. You're going with me.
City desk. Oh, Grimes? Well, get this. Here's a flash for your final. Lillian Boyne has been served with a warrant charging murder. The gun was found in her apartment last night, according to Captain Kine.
Any evidence besides that?
No, the old fool hasn't got a leg to stand on. What? Well, I know because I was in her apartment last night. What do you think I was doing? Interviewing her, of course. Now, listen. I want you to get Bailey, the paper's attorney. The Time-Star's going to the bat for this girl.
How do you know she's innocent?
Well, take my word for it. I've never let you down before. I'm right, and I'm going to prove it. Oh, thanks, Grimes. I'll be in later. Why wait for Lorimer? I'll drive you down in my car.
We'll wait for Lorimer. If he isn't here in a few minutes, we'll send for the wagon.
Sure, that's right. Drag her down there like she was a common drunk.
Common drunks are no worse than common murderers, are they?
Stop it! Stop calling me a...
Oh, that's all right, Joe. Don't pay any attention to him. He's just trying to bait you.
I'm not a murderer.
Of course you're not. I know it, and so does Ed. Just trying to pull a fast one.
See,
Now what?
well, Atwater put it over on me. I was rolling down the main drag about 40 miles an hour when he piled out, and he rolled over about 20 times. Before I could get the car stopped, he was gone.
Well, you big fathead.
Well,
Come in. Hello, Doctor.
Well, William, glad you came. I just identified some lint.
Lynn.
Yes, from the bottom of Jennings' trousers. Did you ever notice the color of the rug in Brock and Smythe's office?
Yeah. It's a henna, isn't it?
Exactly. Jennings was in that office recently.
What else did you find?
I'm looking at some dust from the floor where Jennings was found. And I also found and photographed a woman's footprints on the Campanile stairs.
Is that unusual?
In this case, yes. Those stairs are swept every day. And that footprint was superimposed on one of Jennings's. This woman went up and did not come down.
What about the elevator?
The elevator had stopped running. From this footprint and other evidence that I have found, I'm convinced that it was a woman who killed Jennings and Smythe.
Find anything else?
I'm not ready to make anything public just yet.
Doctor, what woman do you suspect?
There were only 3 women involved in the case. It was one of them.
Pardon me, I'm Brock.
Oh, yes, Mr. Brock. What can I do for you?
Why, I want to talk to you
Yes?
about Jim Smythe.
Oh, yes, please come in.
Why, I'd like to talk to you alone.
Very well, come into my office. Oh, excuse me a moment, Bill. The bullet must have pierced his heart. He never moved after he fell.
I had a hunch something like this was going to happen. Gee, when I heard that shot, I thought you were a goner.
Oh, why did the fool have to pick up my office to kill himself? The whole thing's going to be a mess. Publicity. People will flock up here. Morbidly curious people. And they'll do a lot of talking. Oh, don't touch the gun or the body, Bill. Leave everything just as it is.
All right, Doctor.
Oh, hello. This is Dr. Hawley. Please come immediately. Mr. Brock has just killed himself in my office. Yes, thank you. Oh, shall we go into the laboratory? I don't imagine we'll be bothered until the police get here. The building is usually deserted at this time of the day. Your last edition got a press?
Yes. As long as anything's happening on this case, I've got to stay on the job. Wish things would quiet down.
I wish they'd quieted down 15 minutes ago. Oh. The heartbeat of a housefly. He flew away. Want some more?
Oh, that's plenty. Oh, why don't those flat feet hurry up?
Oh, Captain.
Doctor. Just happened to be on the spot again, Bill?
Well, I was in the next room.
I wish I had your faculty being around when these things take place. What happened, Doctor?
Well, Brock came and insisted on talking to me alone. He was very nervous and right away demanded to know who had killed his partner.
Afraid that whoever killed Smythe might kill him, huh?
Yes, I took it that way. He was half hysterical as he accused me of holding out on him. I finally got a little bit hot under the collar myself. I told him he'd have to leave my office. He jumped up from his chair and cried, "All right, I leave." Before I had time to realize what was in his mind, he pulled a gun from his pocket, held it to his side. I shouted at him, hoping to startle him into pausing for a moment. But he pulled the trigger, fell instantly, and never moved.
Must have been afraid of the police. Tied up pretty tight to those other murderers. He and his partner both ex-cons.
Is that so?
Served time in Joliet and Elmira. Both times blackmail. We have a motive to work on now.
Have you decided that Brock killed both Smythe and Jennings?
Don't you remember that Atwater threatened to kill both of them?
Sure, I remember that.
We have the trains and roads watched. Blackie can't get out of this town.
Well, if he could get out of that campanile, he can get out of this town all right.
Maybe.
You're glad Blackie got away, aren't you?
Yes. Wouldn't you be if he was a friend of yours and was kind to you?
I suppose I would. But I haven't forgotten he tried to shoot me.
He wouldn't have done that, Bill.
How do you know he wouldn't?
Because he knows that I like you.
Lillian, why didn't you tell me that Ann Michaels and Malcolm Jennings were married?
How did you know that?
Captain Kine found a wedding ring and a marriage license in her apartment.
It wasn't my secret, Bill. I promised Ann I wouldn't tell anyone.
Why did she want a marriage kept secret?
You see, Bill, shortly after she married Mal, she realized that she'd made a mistake. She was going to have it annulled after the semester was over.
Oh. Listen, dear. You know, I might be able to help you more if you'd start in by telling me why you made that date to meet Smythe in his office last night.
I didn't.
You told Captain Kine you did.
Oh, I just did that to protect Ann.
Did she use your name and phone Smythe?
Yes.
Why didn't she give her own name?
She tried to see Smythe several times, and he wouldn't see her.
What'd you want to see him about?
Smythe was Mal's attorney.
Why'd you write that note to Mal asking him to meet you?
I wanted to see if I couldn't persuade him to be kinder to Ann. He was treating her terribly.
Where does Blackie Atwater come in this?
Why do you want to know that, Bill?
Because I have to, Lillian. Where does Blackie Atwater come in?
Miss, you wanted in Judge Beasley's office.
Captain Kine, I insist that you establish a reasonable possibility of guilt. Show me how this young woman could have shot Malcolm Jennings at the top of the Campanile and then made her escape without being seen by dozens of people who were gathered around the base. Show me that, and I'll deny this writ.
Well, there's the 3 bullets.
I didn't ask you anything about that. I asked you to show me how this young woman could have committed the crime in question. If you can't, then I shall have to release the prisoner.
Well,
And I shall dismiss the warrant.
You win.
Thank you very much, Judge. Don't thank me.
Miss Bourne, let me be the first to congratulate you.
Thank you.
I guess you know how much we appreciate what you did for us, Bailey.
Thanks. If you ever need me again, look me up.
Now, Lillian, I guess you know you can trust me, don't you?
Yes, I do, Bill.
And the next time I ask you a question, you... Listen, dear, can you get home all right?
Yeah, sure.
I've got to get a story. I'll be up a little later. Wait for me there, will you?
Yes, I will.
Good evening, Sergeant. Is the captain in? I've come to give myself up.
Got a gun? No, Miss. Oh, come on, get moving. Get in. Hey, Chief, got a visitor.
I understand you wanted to see me, Captain.
Yeah. Sit down, Atwater. Sit down. Let's see. You broke away from Lorimer this afternoon, didn't you?
Yes, and I just now walked in and gave myself up.
Might explain yourself.
I didn't care to be arrested this afternoon.
Why?
Well, I thought you might check up on my fingerprints and find I'd served time in San Quentin, and I didn't want that made public.
Why not?
I didn't want my right name to get out.
What is your right name?
Michaels.
Michaels.
Yeah. Ann's father.
Oh, you are. I believe that to protect her name and keep her friends from finding out that her father was a convict, you risked your life by diving out of that car.
You may. I wanted to personally see her on board a boat bound for Europe. That's where she is right now.
Atwater, did you kill Jennings?
If I did, do you think I'd be in here right now?
You threatened him a few days ago. What is the argument about?
About the way he was treating my daughter. I had information that he was cooking up some sort of a plot to ruin her reputation. He and those 2 shysters.
Is that why you threatened to kill Smythe?
If I had threatened to kill him, that would have been the reason.
Your daughter went around with other men, although married to Mal Jennings, I believe.
She was very popular on the campus. No one knew of a marriage. They weren't living together.
What'd you find out about Wilson?
It's perfect.
What's perfect?
The alibi. He said he was down to fraternity house all evening. Brought in a half a dozen guys to prove it.
You have any money?
Well, he drives a big cad roadster.
That wouldn't indicate he's rich enough to be blackmailed.
Say, you know, Captain, in spite of his alibi, I've always suspected that Wilson's no place.
Oh, sit down, Sergeant, sit down. Take a load off your feet. Anyone else interested in your daughter particularly?
Want money?